Good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. If this is your first time tuning into Timothy's Tidbits, I'd like to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning into Timothy's Tidbits, I still want to say welcome and give you a nice hearty thank you for always tuning in and hanging out with moi, my homeboy back here, Spidey, that's by the desk, and my sweetie over here in the corner. Just making the London fog room look so much better. Don't you agree? What's going on, y'all, man? I'm feeling good. I've been sleeping all day long. I've been sleeping all day long. I ain't gonna hold you. I got up. I woke up when I got off live with the Black Spiders, I went and sat on the couch. I said, I'm going to get ready to go to the gym. And I woke up at 1:30 because I had to pee. This was like around 11 o'clock-ish. I woke up at 1:30 because I had to pee. I said, whoa. And I was dog tired. So I came back. I said, let me sit here and get myself together. Then I woke up again at 3:05. I came back here, sat down in front of the charts, looked to see what the market was doing. I threw a little Fibonacci on the chart to check out, where I thought the price was going to go. After I saw it, it made like a little pang out. And I threw a Fibonacci on the chart. And I said, okay, let's see what it do. Right? And hey, Bob's your uncle. What's going on, man? How y'all doing? Before we get into the price action, let me see if anybody in here. Okay, the number slack tonight. I guess y'all getting tired of hearing me. That's the result. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Shout out here to Learn and Share. That's the results of trade in London on the back of 1 hour of sleep. I went to sleep for like 30, 40 minutes. I woke up because I thought one of the kids was talking to me. Then when I woke up, I went to sleep at 12. And I woke up, it was 1 o'clock. And then I fell asleep again. And then I got up so I had about 2 hours of sleep. I got up at like 2:45. Right? Got about 2 hours of sleep. And then I didn't get back into bed. I was just tired. I was operating. I'm fit. I can't be doing that stuff, man. Shout out Rhonda. What's up, Mendez? What's going on? Everybody, Father Legend, everybody that's in here, man. Shout out y'all. Let's go ahead and get into the price action. Let me get over here and see if on Spilene. I don't think I left the chart on Spilene. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think I left the chart on. Where did y'all go? Oh, there y'all go right there. I don't think I left the chart on Spilene. I really don't. I really do not think I left it on Spilene. And I didn't. I left it on the ES. I left it on the ES because that's what I was watching. But it don't matter. We can still go by Spilene house and see how she doing. Right? Let's go see our friend Spilene. Anybody who don't know who Spilene is the SPY, the ETF that tracks the S&P 500, tracks the performance of the S&P 500, that is. Around here, we call it Spilene. Even wrote a song for it. Want to hear it? Here you go. If you know the words, go ahead and sing it with me. Spilene, Spilene, where you at, baby? Here I go. Hey, how you doing? I'm glad that you came through. Oh, Spilene, wait a minute. You on the wrong time frame, girl. What you trying to do? You can see the price action from Spilene, right? Now you can really see the gapage. You can see the gapage on Spilene right here, right there. Got it on regular trading hours, extended trading hours, right? We got it on regular trading hours here. You can see the gapage. That's the gap down that we was talking about today when I was like, we closed up here, we opened down there, and we finally made our way, started going back through that gapage. Remember this morning we was talking about how far through the gap we think we can go, up until the close right here. This is the last closing candle right here. We had got above equilibrium. Let's see how far above equilibrium we got. We're going to go, instead of just marking it out with equilibrium, we closed at 391.68 and we opened at 385.88. We're going to break it down into the handy dandy. You can see right there. We don't really need to break it down, but I will anyway. We got above equilibrium. All right. Let's break it down into the handy dandy quadrants. Yeah, hold on. Thank you, son. Let's break it down into the quadrants. Let's extend this to the right, shall we? Okay, broken down into quadrants. Look at how the price respects the quadrants. This is a testament to, if you have the why behind the reason why you're grabbing that tool, it's far more effective when you're planning. Y'all bear with me. I'm freestyling this right now. Hold on. I just was outside and it's a little bit cooler outside than it is in here. And I have to blow my nose. Not really blow my nose, but I'm not going to wipe the nose on screen. Hey, IG, if anybody don't know, y'all stuck with it. Yeah. Now, get me a squirty of that. Little hand sanitization. Now, woo, that sanitizer strong. What I was saying, if you know the why behind grabbing that tool, it's far more effective for you. And what am I talking about, right? How I grabbed this Fibonacci, right? I grabbed the Fibonacci and I ran it from the close of this 1545. That'll be the 4 o'clock candle on Ninja Trader. Hey, look, astronaut man, get out of my way, right? From this 1545, that'll be the 4 o'clock candle from yesterday on Ninja Trader, and then to the open of this 9:30, that'll be the 9:35 candle on Ninja Trader, right? So I went from the close to the open of that, right? And then I broke that range down into quadrants, right? So now, to the novice that's not into ICT's concepts, to someone who never heard of ICT's concepts, you would probably look at this and be like, why in the world are you anchoring that? Let me move this other stuff out of the way, man. Get out of my way. Okay. Why in the world are you anchoring the fib to that candle and that candle? It makes no freaking sense. But look at how price respects that lower quarter of that price range, right? Look at how price respects that lower quarter of that price range. And then look at how price respects, and when I say respects, talk about the bodies of the candles. Look at how price respects the lower half of that price range, right? Look at it. It's just calculated real targets for you to shoot for. You're not just spraying and praying, as we used to say, you know what I'm saying? When I used to, you know what I'm saying, take pictures and you put it on high speed burst mode and the football player's running, and you just like just spraying and praying, hoping you get a good shot. You're not spraying and praying. You have calculated targets that you're shooting for, but you have certain criteria. Nobody still ain't tell me where that criteria come from. Certain criteria that you looking for before you pull the trigger, right? Now, Tim, you're doing a lot of talking, but you ain't saying that. I just said a whole lot if you already been doing the work. Now, I'm going to address the people who aren't. I'm going to address the people who aren't as far along in the understanding of the little nuances. Speaking of the nuances, here to learn and share, and any other Black Spider that was on the live today, I posted that little piece of the live when I was going over how I look at the breakers and why I wouldn't have chose that particular spot as a breaker and what I would have chose as a breaker and why and all. I chunked that out. It's in the membership section. It has a gem from the live stream thumbnail, but it's in the membership section, and I also put a link in the membership section. It's in the membership playlist, and I put a link in the section if anybody want to go back and look at it, or you know what I'm saying. But I remember she asked me to clip it up, but now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, the people who don't understand the nuances, and I can't forget about them. I can't forget the lazy bums. I'm here for you too. I'm here for the lazy bums too. Okay, so Tim, what are you talking about? Hey, little Timmy Rogers, good to see you, boy. I'm glad you asked that question. What we're talking about is the New Day opening gap, right? ICT talks about the official New Day opening gap, and then I don't know what he called it, but I call it the New York close to New York opening gap, right? We're discussing the New York to New York opening gap, right? New York. We're gonna call that the Alicia Keys and Jay. No, we ain't gonna call it. That sounds stupid. But anyway, we're talking about that. That's why I have it anchored to yesterday's 3:55 and /4 o'clock candles close, and today's the prior day's trading last candle of the day and current day's first candle of the day from the close to the open. That's why I anchored it there, because I'm looking at the New York close to New York opening gap, right? But Tim, there's price in between there. If you look at the I know that. I know it's price in between there. But guess what? That's futures pricing. That all the markets don't have opportunity to that. That's for the futures, right? And it still carries weight. Why? Because the algo knows everybody not trading during this time. So it's a reference point for the algo. We closed here, we opened here. It's a reference, it's a number that algo knows. It thinks about these numbers at lightning speed, lightning speed, lightning speed, lightning speed, lightning speed, right? So that's why I anchored it there. Now, any imbalance, any PDub rate, anything dealing with the algorithm going back to it, especially imbalances, right? Imbalances are gaps, voids, whatever, especially imbalances, wicks. You can break them down into quadrants, right? Why can you break them down into quadrants? This is not an ICT quote. This is the way I understand it, right? Consequent encroachment is a vital point for an imbalance. Consequent encroachment is halfway in between the high and the low, right? So, and consequent encroachment represents the separation between premium and discount, right? We all know that you can break down the premium and discount into short-term premiums and short-term discounts, meaning you will have a equilibrium or consequent encroachment, or however you want to look at it, in the premium for a short-term premium and in the discount for a short-term discount. So now you got a premium and discount on the short term for the overall range. You got a premium and discount in the short term for the overall range that lives in the. So you got a premium. Let me type it out on the screen. Oh, we going to school today. I'm gonna be like Wall Street Trapper. Ooh, this good. This gonna be one of those episodes. Hit the like button for me. This gonna be one. Do that. Let me get my 30 seconds of that beat. Shout out Wall Street Trapper. Hey, so this is the range right here. You can do this on any imbalance, right? So now you have a premium, right? We're gonna make this red and we're gonna make it uber big, 40, right? You got the premium because it's in, this is the high, this is the low, and this is equilibrium. Let me go ahead and see if I can change these colors a little bit. Equilibrium, we're gonna make equilibrium, let's make it green. No, that's not a good color. Red, no, that's not a good color. Something that's gonna stand out. Let's fatten up the lines. Yes, yes. Okay, red is good when I fatten up the lines, right? No, we're gonna make it orange, blue. We're gonna make it blue, and then we're gonna make the discount equilibrium green, and we're gonna make the premium equilibrium red. Okay. All right. So above the blue line is premium, right? I'm just going to put it right here on that line, right? Above the blue line is premium. Let's bring this to the front. Oh, that ain't working. Let's send this to the back. Send to back. All right, it is sent to back. Let's change the color. We're not going to put red on red. Boom. Premium. And discount. I'm going somewhere with this. Don't worry about it. Premium and discount, right? So below the blue line is discount. Above the blue line is premium, right? Ooh, this gonna be good. Ooh, this gonna be good. I just thought this up while I was doing this right here. Okay, so as we see here, right? I put that back there. Uh-oh, I copied that again on accident. Sorry. Didn't want to copy that again. Okay, so, and we're going to make these smaller because they're smaller ranges. Now that I'm freestyling this, y'all excuse me. I'm freestyling this. If y'all don't like my thought process, hold on, let me do this real quick. If y'all don't like my thought process, or you feeling confused right now, like what in the world is Tim talking about? I truly jollipize for confusing you, but okay, so now let's go back. For anybody who don't know, what we're looking at now is the New York to New York opening gap on the new day opening gap, right? On the ES, let me go and break that down. On the ES, right? I'm gonna go back to the what's the name? Let's find. Okay, so the new day opening gap, right? So we got this right here, right there. That's the so if we look here, if we come to the last candle of the day of the trading day for the ES, right? We closed at 1655. We closed at 39.55.25, right? So we closed there, and then the next candle we opened up at 39.53.75, right? Let me get this together. Okay, so on this calendar here, this is the 1655. That'll be that was the 455. That'll be the 5 o'clock candle for Ninja Trader, and this is the 6 o'clock candle. That'll be the 605 candle for Ninja Trader, right? So on the close of the trading day for the ES, which is at 5 o'clock, to the open of the next trading day for the ES, which is at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That right there is the official new day opening gap, right? That's the official new day opening gap for the ES, right? Now, you also have where the market closes over here at, we're going to scratch. We're going to scratch. We're going to scratch this out. Come on, scratch out over there to 930. Right there, boom. Okay, so now you also have, right? We're going to go from, this is the 355. This is the 355 / 4 o'clock candle for the New York close, right? Right there. That's your New York close right there. And down here, if we get together and we pull this down here and we come to 930, right here, we opened up at, there you go, 930. If I get on 930, it'll work. There you go, 930. Is that 930? Yes, that's 930. Right there. Okay, so boom. Now, that is the new day opening gap that we're looking at. The New York close to the New York open. That is the gap that we're looking at right there. Right? New York close to New York open. Right? And pretty much during the New York close and New York open, right? The ES and the SPY they pretty much, like, during the New York session, they pretty much move in tandem with each other, pretty much in lockstep. They move in lockstep, pretty much tick for tick, right? So boom, that's the gap that this is the new day opening gap from the ES close up here at 39.55 in the open at 6 o'clock. So at 5 o'clock when it closed at 39.55, and then at 6 o'clock when it opened up at 39.54, there was a 1 point bearish new day opening gap, right? And from the New York close to the New York open, I ain't doing that math. It's a big new day opening gap. What is that? 42 points? No. Yes, 42 points from 90 to 52. Yes, yeah, so 4 is a 42 point new day opening gap. Let's see if my math mathing. Let's see if my math mathing. 3952.75 minus 3890.75, 62. My math not mathing. So 42 would be 32. 62, it's a 62 point thing. Hey, my math ain't mathing. That's that Broward County public school system. Now let's go back to the spot, because that's what I was talking about, the difference between the new day opening gap and then what I call the New York to New York new day opening gap. Okay, coming back to the spot. Any imbalance, right? Now, that's why I anchored the fibs. I'm going back saying this again because I did a whole lot of stuff in between, and I'm just trying to catch myself back up. I anchored the fib on the open and the close, the close from yesterday to the open on today, to map out the New York to New York new day opening gap, right? Then I have it broke down into quadrants. Any imbalance that you measure from the top to the bottom, 50% through it, or consequent encroachment, that's the separation between the premium and the discount. The way look Timmy Rogers think about it in his head is above 50% is the long-term premium, below 50% is the long-term discount, right? Because it's the entire range. That's the long-term, right? You break it down into quadrants, right? The premium in the discount, and then the discount in the discount, that's more shorter term. You're shooting for goals, low-hanging fruit. That's your shorter term range, right? The premium in the premium, the discount in the discount, that's your shorter term premium, your shorter term discount. You know what I'm saying? The premium discount, the premium, the discount premium, the discount, that's the shorter term stuff, right? So everything about any imbalance can be broke down into quadrants, right? Can be broke down into quadrants. The pace at which price moves through these imbalances gives you a clue of what kind of situation you're in, right? The pace at which it moves through this, if it's dilly-dallying and paying much respect, much homage to these key levels, look at how it's respecting this first quarter, the lower quadrant, this first quarter of this bearish gap, right? Tim, it don't shut up. It's a gap, right? It's respecting this lower quarter of this gap, right? Once we came down and took out sell side liquidity, right? We took out sell side liquidity here, right? We went up, we hit that quarter, took off again to the downside, took out sell side liquidity again. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is like at early in the morning. This in the morning, right? Took out that sell side liquidity again, pushed back up to that quarter again, right? Dilly-dally a little bit, took off to the downside, took out sell side liquidity again, right? This time we came back. Look at how we're trading differently now. look at these two areas. I'm freestyling this, so y'all bear with me, right? I'm trying to talk about the price action and share some other stuff at the same time. Who can see the difference in how we're trading right here, right? Right? Look at this right here. Who can see the, can somebody put in the chat? Can somebody put in the chat, right? What you think the difference is between how we're trading here and how we trade in here. There's no wrong answers. Just if you see a difference, can somebody just put something in chat and say, ooh, me, pick me, ooh, me. When my kids were young, my daughters, that is, my sons too, everybody used to like to watch Shrek. My 13-year-old still love watching Shrek to this day. But it's on one of them Shreks when this had to be the boys. It had to be the boys. It wasn't the girls. It was on one of them Shreks when the DVD be playing the loop menu. Hey, that's been a long time. Somebody should be to put something in the chat by now. Ain't no wrong answer. Somebody answer something, right? So on the loop, when it be on the loop on the part when they're in the swamp, and Shrek be like, does anyone know where Farquaad lives? And Duncan be like, ooh, me, pick me. Ooh, and it just play that over and over and over. So that's where I get that from. Ooh, me, pick me. Now, speaking of pick me, ain't nobody putting nothing in the chat yet. Somebody put something. I'm just going to sit here to somebody put something in the chat. So I want somebody to put something in the chat. Anybody just looking at it from 9:30 up until, let's just say, 11:15, and from 11:20 up until let's just say 1:15, right? What's the difference? What's the difference? Shout out here to Learn to Share. Here to Learn to Share said high resistance and consolidation. Beautiful. I love it. If you look right here, it's a whole lot of consolidation. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a bunch of high resistance. Then when you look over here, the market stretched its legs out a little bit and started moving more algorithmically. I like that. Looks like back to market maker buy model. If you talk about buy model, it should be a U in there, but we're going to work with it. We're going to work with the public school education. I got one too. I love it. I like that too. Looking at we got two. You literally, theoretically, you can like really, if you deep dive, you can pick out two market maker buy models over here. One there, you got a buy, a sell, a buy, a little sell in there, a buy. You can pick out, you know what I'm saying, on lower time frames, you can really see it. I like that. Beautiful market structure shift. I like that. You got a clear shift in market structure over here and this half over here, whereas over here you don't get like a clear market structure shift. Like over here, it just kind of bleed down and break structure. Over here, it kind of bleed down and, you know, finally break structure like in this consolidation. But over here, you get a pay now. You get it's. I love it. Jersey. Okay, I love it. I appreciate the participation. Now, all of the above are beautiful. Like I said, there's no wrong answers. I like to interact because I don't want everybody to just say, Tim said this, so that's it. I want you to use your noodle based off the concepts that ICT teach, because what your eye gravitates toward may not be what my eye gravitates toward, but we all can get to this. Oh, speaking of that, I was going to say we can all get to the same place. Shout out Candlesticks. Shout out Father Legends. I know for a fact that they took trades today in the exact same spot that I was pointing out as a potential trade on the live, in the exact same spot that ICT was pointing out as a potential trade in the live. I was looking at a fair value gap. Father Legends was looking at an order block. Candlesticks was looking at a breaker. And I think ICT was looking at selling from a fair value gap back down to a break order block, and then buying from an order block back up to the fair value gap. I think that, but it was all in the same spot. It was all in this. The buy from the order block back up is the same spot that I was pointing out a fair value gap entry. Father Legends was taking an order block entry, and Candlesticks was taking a breaker entry in the exact same spot. Right. So that's why I like to ask questions. What do you see right here? You know what I'm saying? Not to box nobody into only wanting to look for fair value gaps like me. Like, I don't only look for them, but that's the first thing I look for. If I don't see a fair value gap, I'm like, nah, I really don't see nothing. And then I really digest and I'll be like, okay, we got a potential breaker. But if I don't see a fair value gap, I'm like, I ain't got nothing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, now, what I was talking about with this right here. So looking at this piece of price right here, right? Right? Nothing over here is, you know what I'm saying, giving us a willingness or a sign of motion, right? We've come a mighty long way, right? And nothing is just saying, I want to keep going down. Sell me short. Nothing is giving us that, right? But once we come here and we take out this sell side liquidity, right? We come down. We take out this sell side liquidity and we set a high right there. And then we come down and we take out that sell side liquidity again, and we get us a nice pay. Boom! Take off to the upside, right? That's the difference in the price. Nothing is saying, I want to do something. Nothing is giving you a tip of the hand. They're still playing spades like this. You can't see anything in their hand. But it's so right here on this piece of price leg right there, you really get a nice tipping of the hand, and you be like, oh, Joker dudes. Okay. I see what they holding right there. It tipped his hand. Now let's get back to the new day opening gap, right? So up into this period right here, it's totally respecting this lower quarter, right? But it's not giving you any indication that I just want to keep tanking. It keeps playing with the sell side. This is what I consider engineering the liquidity, right? When ICT be talking about like engineering liquidity, like and the reason why I call it engineering liquidity, and this may not be what he be talking about, but where is the liquidity? The liquidity lies below the lows and above the highs. The liquidity is stops, buy stops, and sell stops. So we're down here. We come down, dip in the sell stops. 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 So we done dipped in the sell stops 1, 2, 3, 4 times. We done dipped in the sell stops. And then we get a glimmer of hope. We're tired. We're sleepy. We've been watching this. We have alerts set. You know what I'm saying? We got all kind of stuff, and it's not giving what it's supposed to be given until we get the pang out, right? Once we get the pang out, right, we come back down, right? Come right here into this fair value gap right there. Look at the confluence upon confluence. What do we have here? Got a bullish fair value gap right there, aka SIBI, right? You have a bullish order block right here, right? Bullish order block right there, right? Look at the confluence upon confluence upon confluence, right? Right there. If you want to dig really deep into it, if you want to dig really deep into it, right, you can look at this swing coming up here, right here, this swing right there. You can look at that right there as a bullish breaker right there. If you want to dig deep into it, I don't like looking for breakers in the midst of consolidation like that, right? But if you really want to do it, and why am I saying that? Is because we came down, took out this sell side right here, pushed back up into an area of resistance in the form of this, maybe a volume imbalance there, and but I clearly see this fair value gap, wicked off of it, right? And then we were met with heavy distribution the opposite way, right? Right there, like that high, broke that low, then heavy distribution in the opposite way, right? That high, broke that low, heavy distribution, right? Making this a breaker right there, right? So we come down to a fair value gap, bullish fair value gap, bullish order block, and a bullish breaker right there in the back. I don't like that. So we're just going to make him gray, right? All of that confluence right there. Come down into it there, pop up, right? Take out that buy side, come back down where? Into another fair value gap, right? Right on top of all this other confluence there, right? Met by another order block. This whole piece is literally the order block, but this is the bottom piece of the order block. Came back down into the same confluence again. We've filled in this fair value gap and we're above it. So we expect that fair value gap to act as what? Support. Come back down into the support and then we take off, right? Where do we take off to? Right? Look at the body of this candle here. It opens up, right? This candle closes at the low end of the new day opening gap. Y'all thought I had forgot about that. I didn't forget. I was just talking about the entry. This candle here, right? It closed at the bottom of the gap. This candle opened at the bottom of the gap, right? And then we left that area, right? Once we left that area, what are we saying about this entire area over here, right? Can someone put it in the chat, right? Can someone put it in the chat? What do we consider this entire area? Because we left this area here. Boom, left this area and made a fair value gap, right? So coming from the high of this candle here all the way back this way over here. What do we consider that? Because we left that in a hurry. What do we consider that area right there? All of this area right here. Anything in this, let's say blue. We're going to use blue. Exactly. You know why I use blue? Because it's balanced, 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 balanced. That's why I used blue for balance, just like I used orange for order block. And then I used green for the fair value gap because it was bullish. I ran out of stuff. Right? I don't have it's a fair value gap. I don't have a F word that's a color for that. Forest green, fair value gap. We got a forest green fair value gap. Okay, so balanced price range, right? So we left the balanced price range in a hurry, right? Where do we go? We went above the short-term discount or above the lower quarter of the new day opening gap, right? Mind you, when I talked about the new day opening gap earlier, I said this is the gap, this is equilibrium, right? Maybe we get to equilibrium. Maybe we get all the way to the top. But this is just areas to target. I targeted equilibrium because consequent encroachment is the most important part. You want to see if price, once you take out sell side or take out buy side, you want to see if price gets back to hey, y'all, hold on. I got IG. I'm finna hang up on y'all because I need to find out if my wife picking up my son. Chris, is your mama here? Christopher, is your mama here? She went to go get Timothy? What's up? Did you go to get Timothy?
Yeah, he's 7:30, right?
I believe so.
Last week it was 7:30.
Yeah, I believe so. I didn't hear you come in, so I was just making sure that you was going to get him.
I got you.
All right. All right. And then she in here. Yes, I'm picking up Timothy. Okay. Okay. I think this is where I was at. Right when price left this balanced price range, it gave us, right over here, it tipped his hand that I want to move up, right? It started trading more algorithmically, right? We popped up here and we came above, right? The lower quarter, right? We came above the lower quarter, cut through it like hot butter, right? We're cutting through it like hot butter because just using the high of this candle right there, because that's where it took off from. Everything in there is balanced. So it's slicing through all of this. And just looking at this, you can say, okay, that looks relative balance too, because we got buy side and sell side in all of this area, right? But we don't get an indication of that until we start seeing how price respects it, right? We don't see it until price start. You see right here, price started stopping at that quarter. Down here, it was stopping below that quarter, below that equilibrium, below that consequent encroachment of the discount, below in that lower quadrant. Price was stopping below that. And then now that price has gotten above it, right? It's acting as what? Support now. Over here, it was resistance. And now that we've balanced all of this out and we've broken through, now it's support, true support and resistance, right? So once we got up past there, we pushed up, got into the actual premium, right? And price came back down, respecting the halfway point, poked into the premium again, respecting it with the body of the candle, poked in again, didn't poke that time, right? Came back down and tested the support, went back up, poked into it again, respecting it, right? Poked into it again, respecting it, came back down, right? Tap below, got a little bit more of that fair value gap over there, push back up again, poke through it again, body still respecting it. This time we come down, run out all of the sales stops that's below this support, right? Took that out, right? And where do we come down to? Down into, right? Almost feel this fair value gap, but down into all this other area here that we said was potentially balanced, right? Potentially balanced also, but we came down to where? Right here. This up close candle right before we left that area. See this candle here where we left that area there, right? We came back down to it, stopped right there. Why? Because over here, when we dumped and left that area, the algo was like, okay, I'm done with this area. Go. And then that's why over here we cut through that area like a hot knife and butter, because now we know this entire area right there has been rebalanced because it came back down. As you see, stopped right there on that last up close candle before we left there, saying, hey, I'm balanced out. This is balanced price area. And then the price came back and said, oh yeah, I'm back in that balanced price area. I need not go any lower. Wick back off of it, respecting it. Came back down one more time to make some people do the hold tight. And then bang out, took off, and just we ran out of time at the end of the day. And this time we're above the equilibrium. So now the price is saying, okay, I'm bullish. How far can it go? Right? How far can it go? We got some buy side resting here. We got some buy side resting here. Right? We got buy side resting there. If you look at where that buy side is, that's pretty much halfway in between that. So if it get to that and takes that out, you can expect it to attack that 30, 90, 24 right there at that equilibrium. You can expect that. Why? Because it's getting above the halfway mark right there. Look at that. Look at that. I just eyeballed it, but look at that right there. Isn't that a coinky dink? What did it do? It just half and 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 half. Oh, sometimes you got to get your boogie on by yourself, right? Right. So we got buy side resting above there. I don't like that not being green. I like my buy side to be green. There you go. We got buy side resting there. We have equilibrium for the premium area right there. That's a nice target. Let's use a ray right here so we can see the actual price. I like using rays. Thank you, Ray. Where I get that from? Thank you, Ray. Right? Got buy side above that 389.48. You got equilibrium at that 390.24. You got your stretch goal up there of 391.69. These are all measurable targets. How likely is it to go there? Let's look at this 5 minutes and see. What do we leave behind? We left a little something down here, but we left in a hurry. It's all a balanced price range, so we left in a hurry. We came back in and pretty much filled in this imbalance. So this is down here in a balanced price range. So it's not a whole lot of weight on this or anything down here because it's a balanced price range. And then we came back down into this imbalance right here to ensure that we took care of what we needed to take care of there, right? And then we start to leave. So there's technically nothing really pressing to come get right now. We can go up to the 15 minute, go to the 15 minute, right? Again, this fair value gap right there, we totally filled it in. So there's no imbalances on the 15 minute to speak of. We came back down into this order block, filled in that 15 minute fair value gap, right? Order block, 15 minute fair value gap. What makes that order block? We came down to an area of support, got met with heavy contrarian liquidity. Last down close candle, boom, bullish order block, right? What makes this a fair value gap? We have only buy side offered on this 1300, this 1 o'clock candle, this 1245 and this 115 candle don't share price. The space in between the low of this 115 candle and the high of this 1245 candle is a fair value gap. We came down, filled that entire imbalance in, touched the order block, and then we left. So there's no imbalance to speak of there, right? We left this area in a hurry. So what can we consider, right? Coming from this is the highest high from when we took off right there. So I'm coming to this one instead of that one because that's the highest high. That wick traded both ways in that area. So I'm coming to that highest wick before we left. If this wick was higher, I would use that one. So we're looking at the highest wick right there in that area. So we left that area in a hurry. So all of this can be considered a balanced price range. Price comes back down, stops where? Right inside the wick. And if we push all the way over here, right? When we left that area in a hurry, we came right back to that same area right there. When we left that area in a hurry, we came into the wick of this candle right here that said, oh, wait a minute. We didn't got into this balanced price range. Let's go the other way. So right now it's looking, pretty bearish. I mean, pretty bullish. We've closed above the equilibrium of the gap, right? How far can it go? Again, you have buy side there. You can take out that buy side and tank, or you can take out that buy side, come back to this potential order block, and then attack this, or you can just keep going and attack that, get into the premium to sell back down into the order block or any imbalance to attack the buy side, resting just resting just above the top of the new day opening gap. You have buy side resting above 392.18, and the top of the new day opening gap is 391.69. And don't forget, anytime you have a wick, you can always check consequent encroachment of that wick, and that also can be a target for you right there at that 391.94. Fuchsia for fair value gaps. Fuchsia is not a color. Fuchsia is a word. I yield my time. I'm sorry, I've been on here for like a whole hour, but I got to run in my mouth. So I just felt like sharing something in the way that I understand it. I try to do that because I appreciate y'all for pulling up. I don't want anybody to feel like, oh, Tim only gonna share the juicy stuff if we sign up for his memberships. That is not true. The memberships are there for you to show your appreciation and support the channel in a financial way. I know people work hard for their money, so I offer more of my time. I tend to go into deep rants like I did just now more frequently, but I don't want anybody to think this is a money grab for me. So when my family is, when life is happening and I'm not taken away from my family, I will spend more time running my mouth because I love talking about this stuff. It's a beautiful way to change your life. It doesn't have to be your only thing you do, but I think everybody should have the knowledge of this so that when you're putting your money into the market, you're doing it in an educated manner. Even if somebody else is doing it for you, you know how to say, hold on, buddy. That don't look like no McDonald's. I appreciate y'all, man. You're very welcome, Marco. You're very welcome. Hey, does anybody got anything else before I call it? Does anybody got anything else before I call it? Before I call it. Let me show. I haven't shown this in a while. Right? So, since I haven't shown this in a while, I'll do this right here. From this 12:55/1 o'clock candle, that's 1 o'clock for Ninja Trader, up to this 135, that 140 candle on Ninja Trader. From there to there, little Timmy Rogers like to call that the pang-yow leg, because that's when we got the pang-yow, right? If you want to get precise targets to shoot for, right? Once you get your pang-yow leg up or down, right? And you don't have an entry, but you get your pang-yow leg, what you can do is run a fib from the low or the high to the high or the low of the pang-yow leg, right? And if you don't have your fib projections mapped out. Let me get all this other stuff out of the way. I'll leave the gap, right? If you don't have your field projections already mapped out, the only thing it is from 0, you got 0 to 1. That's the from the low to the high or the high to the low. The 0.5 is consequent encroachment or equilibrium. And then I make my projections with negative numbers, right? Because I want it to show me in the direction where I'm pulling the field. If I want to go up and I'm pulling it up, I want to see how far up it can go. If I want to go down and I'm pulling the field down, I want to see how far down it goes. That's why I use negative numbers, but it's half standard deviations, 0.5, 0.50, negative 50, negative 1%, negative 1.5%, negative 2%, negative 2.5%. I went all the way up to 6. You can go as far as you want to and fill up this whole thing if you want. I went up to 6 standard deviations on mine, right? So, and what you want to look at, right? Once you map out your pineal leg, you want to look at prior highs or lows or imbalances or any PD array to your left, right? Anything to your left. And when you spy that PD array, like these highs, these relative equal highs right here, and that high right there, all of this, you'd be like, what's the deviation above that high, right? 388, that could be a target for you to shoot for once you get in, if it gives you an opportunity to get in before hitting that, right? Right? That can be a target. If you say, I want to get back to equilibrium, right? I want to go to equilibrium. I'm going to shave at equilibrium, but I'm going to leave a little piece on to see how far past equilibrium we can go. What's the deviation above equilibrium? 389.43. You can shave at equilibrium and leave a little piece on. Hey, Tranisha, I really appreciate you, Tranisha, for pulling up with the super chat. As usual, Tranisha always be coming through with the Potomac. What in the world is Potomac? What are we talking about over here? I missed that. I'm sorry. Right there. I can target. That's a number I can shoot for. Three people be like, what you targeting? 389.43. Why you targeting that? Because I did the work. Now you go do the work. You lazy bam. Right? So then that's from the pineal leg, right? Once you get your entry, let's say you a fair value gap trader like me, right? You an order block trader, you breaker trader. We had all that in this area. You had the breaker, you had the fair value gap, you had the order block, right? All of the above. Everybody got the entry on the same leg, on the entry leg. If you want to measure from your entry leg, all you do is go from the low or the high of the entry leg and go back to the high or the low of the pineal leg, right? The pineal leg, right? So if you want to measure it from your entry leg, now you're looking for your targets, right? On this one here, your target is falling right at the equilibrium. You can play it safe and take it there, or you can shoot for the one above. I like it when it's nowhere near the equilibrium, it's clearly below and clearly above. I like it when it falls like that because it makes my job easier, right? And then you see from the entry leg, it fall right on the same 38, 388.79, 388.79 is right on the leg. I don't like it when it do that, right? You can take shave there and see if you can get up here to this 389.53. In this case, you would have had water in your eyes because it got to 389.48, right? And then the next one up here, I didn't look at the other one over here, but at the premium, right? If you enter down here, right, and you still holding the piece, you can be targeting that right there. You can say, hey, that 390.27 look good. Why? Because it's right there, just above that 390.24, right? This is how you can look for like spot on target. You got your sniper scope out. Sniper, you the spotter. You the spotter, you spotting it, right? And then your other you is the sniper. Pulling the trigger when it's time. Just want to share that real quick. I haven't talked about that in a while. And I know people don't like to go back and look at videos, and plus my suite is still not back. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up there for real because I don't see anything. What is this Potomac? Why did you put that there, Michelle? That's driving me crazy. What did I miss? Did I say something that warrant? I don't remember saying nothing that warranted Potomac. So I don't know why it's there. That's why it's driving me crazy. Hey man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in as always. Again, Tranisha, thank you for always pulling up with the super chats. You know what I'm saying? Always pulling up with the super chats. Again, thanks to all the people that support the channel by joining the memberships. You asked where something was said from the Quateria. When I was talking about the Quateria, that was from that pimps up HOs down. That's where that Quateria come from. And then what else did I say? I said something else. It ain't had nothing to do with Potomac though. What did I say? I said something else. Anyway, yeah, I appreciate y'all. And I just wanted to give a little extra sauce tonight. Somebody said thanks for the extra sauce. I think I saw it over there. Yes, Hit Learn Share said thanks for the extra sauce. I just want to give some extra sauce tonight because again, this is just me being open, honest. I don't want anyone to ever feel like this is a money grab. We're living in this weird space where if people charge for something, it's like it's so many people that's out there grifting and scamming that people always raise an eyebrow whenever somebody charges for anything. So I don't want anybody to think that this is a money grab. Like I tell my wife all the time, I'd be like, I'm finna shut it all down. But then I'd be like, no, I'm not gonna do that because this is, you know what I'm saying, this is my gift, helping people, right? But I still have to do it in a smart way. Just like I told y'all today, I had to abandon the other sim account that we was doing because it is conflicting with some of my personal goals that I wrote down. But I have to do it in a smart way. You know what I'm saying? Anything worth having is going to take some sacrifice. So I sacrifice getting up to do my personal stuff in London just so I can be here because I made a vow that I'm going to share this with everything. I'm going to treat this like the gospel. I'm going to share this with as many people as possible while I'm here, while I can, for free. So again, that's why I just want to give a little extra sauce tonight because I don't never want somebody to say, you know, I ain't really getting the good stuff on the free lives. I always want to make sure I got the good stuff. I always want to, and then if we talk about something real good on the live stream, the Black Spotters know if we talk about something that's real good and I remember it, I come back and talk about it anyway on the live. But the only, I guess, benefit there would be, it's sort of like with the whole ICT lives, it's like you're there in the moment, seeing it happen. So it has a different feeling, right? It's easy for it to feel like I'm getting on here playing Monday morning quarterback when I'm going back looking through the candles than when I'm sitting there and like, oh, this long look juicy right here. This why. We got divergence on the dollar. We took out this buy side, you know what I'm saying? And then it happens. It's a different feeling than going back and like, hey, this did that when it is that when you see it, when you can't see the right side of that chart and you talk about it and then it happens, Charlie, it still feel good to me. I don't know about y'all, but it still feel good to me. Hey man, I'm still running my mouth. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Potomac was one of 2 algorithm names for, I said algorithms. Y'all know I can't say that. For the river forming north boundary of Virginia, it meant great trading place or people. Okay then. I like that. I knew what the Potomac was, but I didn't know it meant great trading place or place where people trade. Man, I love that. I'm about to figure out how to put that on a shirt. Between you and ICT, I'm getting my ha-ha moment. Hope you're getting your aha moment too. I just love being here when I can, since I'm always working. Hey man, we love you too, and we love you back. Oh, me too, Tim. The man who will make learn to understand. Oh, Tim is the man. I appreciate that, man. I'm telling you like this right here. I'm just a dude from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, man. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Y'all look up the statistics on Floridians, man. Look up the statistics on young black Floridians. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Do not put off till tomorrow what you can say today. Tim, what do you mean? What I mean is, let those that you love know that you love them right now while you can, and don't put it off till tomorrow, because one day tomorrow is not going to come. And if you don't take advantage right now and tomorrow don't come, that's a pain you don't want to live with, especially if you got something that's unresolved between you and that family member or you and that friend. Please get it right now, because ain't nobody promised tomorrow. I was on the way taking my kids to school today, and I was right behind my wife, maybe 1 or 2 cars behind my wife, and like 6 cars ahead of us. There was a terrible accident getting onto the expressway. And as I'm pulling up, I can see that is some really young people in this car. I thought they was trying to pull somebody out, but once I got closer, I could see that it was a young lady that was looking shook up, hurt, I don't know what, but she had to sit on the side of the road. And I could just see women running everywhere, because I'm assuming that motherly instinct was kicking in, because these young people was in the car. So we trying to navigate between cars spent around on the road and on the on-ramp, women running back and forth to try to go help these kids, right? It's starting to turn into chaos, right? And I was like, you know what, Tim, just keep driving. Because when I saw them young kids over there, I almost stopped to get out, but I'm like, I got my kids in the car. If I stop in the middle of the road, somebody might hit my kids. Everybody trying to get to work. That's how the accident happened. And so I just weaved through there, managed to miss people running, and then called my wife, like, hey, you good? I ain't see you follow behind me. She's like, oh, I'm good. I'm here. Said all that to say, man, I pray no one was injured seriously, but you never know. Nobody's promised tomorrow. You never know. I don't make this stuff up. This is real life stuff. I know I talk about this every night, but this is real life stuff I be seeing. Just like the little kid I saw walk out in traffic that time. I'm like, oh my God. This is real life stuff I be seeing right here in Columbus, Georgia, man. Take advantage. Don't just say it. Don't just show it. Say it, show it, and confirm, because you can be doing all that you know to do, and you're not speaking in their love language, so they're not receiving the love that you're trying so hard to give. How do you figure out that love language? By communicating. Talk to each other. Don't be scared to talk to each other. I know when I was growing up, families talking to each other, that wasn't like high on the priority list. Long as daddy was making money and mama was cooking food and the kids got decent grades, daddy could go drink and hang under the tree. If the kids got out of line, he gonna come beat somebody, and Bob's your uncle. But communicate. with your kids, with your spouse. If you got grown kids that don't live with you, call them up. Tell them you love them. Check on them, right? If you got your parents still here, call them every day. Call them, check on them. If you don't call them, at least send them a text. Check on them. Your spouse, your kids that live with you, check on them. I know they're in the house with you, but check on them. Open that line of communication. I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I think that's it. I'll see y'all in the morning. What you say? Call that the order flow state when you in the OFS meeting. Yeah, that Mandarin starting to make sense. Order flow state. You in the order flow state. You in the zone. You ain't in the zone no more. You in the order flow state. You hear me? I like that. Hey, I'll see y'all tomorrow at 9 o'clock for the overnight price. Action. Gone, man.